What is going on, guys? Chip here. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG online video, where today we're going to be taking a look at a Decidueye Vileplume deck, and the list we're going to be looking at is actually the list that Azul and Brad recently used to make top 8 and top 16 respectively at the recent Mexico City Regional Championships. So huge congrats to both of those guys. They're good friends of mine. Big shout out to them for sharing their list, and congrats on the awesome finishes from the both of them. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and hop into things. Look at Decidueye-GX Vileplume, a deck that really hasn't seen a ton of success in the new format, but these guys proved that it is still very good, still something that people should consider and be looking out for. So let's go ahead and hop in and start off by looking at Decidueye here, the 240 HP Grass-type Stage 2 Pokemon GX. With the ability Feather Arrow. Once during your turn before you attack, you may put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So really cool ability there. Just a free 2 damage counters per turn per Decidueye can definitely rack up and is a really good way for us to hit some great numbers with some of our different attackers. And speaking of attackers, we can definitely attack with Decidueye here. Razor Leaf, 90 damage. May not seem like a lot of damage for 3 energies, but when combined with multiple Feather Arrows, it definitely can hit pretty hard, being able to 2-hit KO basically everything in the format. If we've set up some knockouts earlier on with like Sky Returns or some Feather Arrows or some Energy Drives, Razor Leaf can definitely come in and clean up some knockouts for us. And we also have Hollow Hunt GX here. Put 3 cards from your discard pile into your hand. Great GX attack. Just getting back resources later on in the game, getting back energies, getting back pieces of our Decidueye or Vileplume line, whatever we want to grab, we can definitely get with Hollow Hunt GX. So there is Decidueye. We are playing a 4-4-4 line of Decidueye and also a 2-2-2 line of Vileplume here with Irritating Pollen. Each player can't play any item cards from his or her hand. Of course, shutting off our opponent's ability to play item cards is very irritating, quote-unquote, for them to have to deal with. And usually if we can do this on the first turn, we've already played pretty much all of the items we want to play, and we are definitely like set up and good to go from there. Now, a couple of the other interesting cards we see included, we'll just talk about kind of the basic stuff here. We've got 2 Shaymin-EX. You know, normally we'd see 3 before this format. 2 makes sense now in this format, I think, especially since alongside the 2 Shaymin-EX, they are playing 2 copies of Tapu Lele-GX with Wonder Tag, letting us search a supporter card out of our deck in order to use it for the turn, getting us a Sycamore, getting us an N, a Lysandre to clutch time can definitely be good. And then also Energy Drive here. We aren't playing Lugia EX anymore, and that's mostly because Tapu Lele-GX just kind of does the job better for us. It has that good ability, and then Energy Drive is basically the same attack, or actually the same attack as Air Ball, except we don't hit for weakness or resistance, but not that anything was weak or resistant to Colorless to start with, so effectively the same attack there. Tapu-Lele GX we can't use because we don't play any Psychic Energies or Rainbows or anything like that. And then for the rest of the GX Pokemon here, we have 1 Drampa-GX, which is a really cool inclusion in this deck. Righteous Edge is such a good attack. Being able to manage how many, like what your opponent is doing with their energy can be very good if you're going up against a deck that uses a lot of special energies. And then also Berserk can hit very, very hard. 150 for 3 energies is really nice, but this is mostly going to be like for later on in the game. We don't have Team Magma's base or any way to damage our own Pokemon in this deck, so we're going to kind of be relying on our opponent to put damage on the field. But if we're item locking them, you know, it's pretty likely that they're just going to have to damage something for just a little bit of damage at some point along the way. So it will be pretty easy to get that 150 damage boost with Berserk. And to round the Pokemon out here, we also have 1 copy of Tapu Koko. The promo here with Flying Flip, 20 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Just spreading some damage around on the field early can help clean up some knockouts for us later on in the game. If we have, you know, if our opponent has a Pokemon with 60 HP, 2 Feather Arrows plus a Flying Flip is enough to knock that Pokemon out. So that's something that could come into play as well. So there are the Pokemon, 24 Pokemon, a lot of Pokemon in this deck. We're going to go ahead and expand it here. Take a look at the rest of this deck and see what else we have to work with. 1 copy of Field Blower. This is really going to be for those Garbodor decks if they are getting down that Garbotoxin Garbodor, we just Field Blower plus Lysandre the Garbodor and start sniping and doing damage around it. So that's the idea there with Field Blower. 2 copies of Level Ball here, letting us search our deck for a Pokemon with 90 HP or less. Going to be crucial to setting up those Oddishes, Glooms, Rowlets, and Dartrixes. Unfortunately, it can't search out Tapu Koko. It has 110 HP. That would be really nice if it could, but searching out the Stage 1 and Basic of the 2 Stage 2 lines in our deck is definitely really nice. We've got 2 copies of Revitalizer here, bringing back pieces of that Owl line or pieces of our Plume line, whatever we need to get. 4 copies of Trainers Mail, just the utmost consistency. A card that we have not seen played a lot anymore due to Garbodor's prevalence and being Garbodor just being so good. But Trainers Mail is definitely still a card that makes a lot of sense in this deck. We're always digging for certain pieces to try to get that turn 1 item lock if we can. 4 copies of Ultra Ball here, going to let us search our deck for any of our Pokemon. And really great synergy with Shaymin, of course, since we do discard 2 cards with Ultra Ball, letting us draw more cards off of Shaymin's setup ability. 4 copies of Forest of Giant Plants. This is how we get up into those Decidueyes and Vileplumes on the very first turn. 2 copies of Lysandre, letting us bring up whatever our opponent has on the bench. 3 copies of In, just providing a little shuffle draw early on, and then also can disrupt our opponent later on in the game. And 4 copies of Professor Sycamore, letting us discard our hand, drawing 7 cards. Just the most consistent draw supporter in the game right now, guys. 2 copies of Float Stone here, giving our guys free retreat. The Vileplume, of course, being nice to get that out of the active. Also, just being able to move around our Decidueyes can be good at times as well. 4 copies of Double Colorless Energies, powers up every single one of our attackers, except for Vileplume, unfortunately. And 4 copies of Grass Energy to round things out. There's the deck. Let me know what you guys think. Huge congrats once again to Azul and Brad. We are going to hop onto the Versus ladder, see if we can grab a couple of games, and see if we can come away with a couple wins as well. As always, guys, if you enjoy these videos, definitely be sure to leave a like down below. It means a lot to me. It lets me know you enjoy seeing what I'm doing. And we're going to hop into this game here. We see a Water, Metal, and Psychic deck. So not sure what this could be. Maybe some sort of... My first instinct is like Greninja with Tapu Lele and the Jirachi promo, but we'll see. Oh, maybe it's a Segaleo deck of some sort as well. We see the Segaleo coin, so that actually would make sense. Oh, maybe it's just like Metagross and the water type is just Alolan, is the Alolan Vulpix, letting them search out specific stuff. But we have a pretty decent looking start here. Get Tapu Koko in the active, and we're going to see what it is. And it is indeed going to be Metagross, it looks like. So let's go ahead and start off with a Level Ball here. Going to search out probably an Oddish. If we can get a turn 1 item lock, that will be really, really good. We could potentially win on this turn if we set up 3 Decidueyes, but we're definitely not going to go for that play. We're just going to go grab Oddish, get it down. We're going to try our hardest to get the turn 1 knockout if we can. Flying Flip is actually going to be very good in this matchup as well, just spreading some damage around. And if we can get turn 1 item lock, that'll be really, really good as well. So I kind of want to just get rid of like Lysandre, Oddish, go get a Shaymin, and then use Revitalizer so I can set up for 6. So I think we're going to do that. Or I could just have gotten rid of Revitalizer as well. I should have checked Shaymin's and Lele's, but we do have 1 Lele in the deck. We got the Shaymin. All of our energies, which is nice. We do have the other Revitalizer, prized an Ultra Ball, and a Sycamore and an N, it looks like. Okay, so we'll just go grab Shaymin here. I should have just discarded the Revitalizer so we save a little time, but we'll go grab the Oddish. It does stink getting rid of 1 kind of early. I maybe could have gotten rid of Float Stone instead, but, you know, I'm going to try to dig as much as I can for this turn 1 item lock and get a setup for 6 off here. We do find triple Rowlet. That's pretty crazy. I think I might just bench 2, though. We do have our other Revitalizer. I want to save this for, like, a Lele, potentially, if we need it. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and Sycamore and see if we can find Gloom plus Vileplume. There's the Vileplume. Do we find a Gloom? Not yet. Trainer's Mail could find us an Ultra Ball or a Level Ball, though. Let's see if we can get it. There's an Ultra Ball, so we will get the turn 1 item lock here, at least. And we can also get a Decidueye out into play. So we just have to Ultra Ball away Drampa DCE, maybe? Let's see if we can get a supporter with this. We don't, unfortunately. So we're going to go down to a 0 card hand. I think. I think we'll just take the Float Stone and we'll put it onto Decidueye. Ultra Ball away, Drampa, Decidueye maybe? And then save the DC so I can Sky Return next turn. But if he doesn't bench anything, we'll be able to just win next turn with if we Feather Arrow this turn, plus... it's tough. I think we actually might just get rid of the Float Stone. Yeah, we're going to get rid of Float Stone and Drampa. Going to go grab the Gloom. I still think playing the Trainers Mail was like the correct decision there, though. To see if we got a supporter, because then we can... That like affects what we Ultra Ball, of course. So we get Dartrix out. Go ahead and get Decidueye. Go ahead and Feather Arrow, put 20 damage onto this Beldum. Go ahead and get out Vileplume, and if my opponent doesn't have any basic Pokemon in their hand, we can, of course, just Feather Arrow plus Flying Flip for the game next turn. There's a Psychic Energy coming down, and we're going to see an N from my opponent. Do they get another Pokemon or not off of this N? Let's see what happens here. Well played. They must have not gotten a Pokemon. That is awesome. We're going to go ahead and Feather Arrow, of course. And we'll just Flying Flip for the game. We could have Sky Returned, we could have Energy Drived, but that's actually going to do it for game number 1. So the power of Vileplume being too strong for the Metagross deck to overcome. And that's just kind of why this deck can be good at times. If you get the turn 1 item lock, you can just win games because of that. So let's go ahead here, grab another game. And looks like we're going up against, this one might be a Water Box deck. This also could be Greninja with Talonflame. We'll just have to see. If it is Talonflame and they do start Talonflame, that will make things a little trickier for us because Talonflame is obviously pretty good against Vileplume. But in general, this should normally be a favored matchup. Kind of an awkward looking hand here, and it does look like it is Greninja. So funny enough, actually, Greninja is what Azul lost to in top 8. A deck that normally does not have a good Decidueye Vileplume matchup, but I believe the Greninja he lost to in top 8 was playing like Talonflame Break so that they could Arrow Blitz for a lot of damage and had rare candies and stuff like that. Things that can make a difference at times. And we do see the Talonflame out. We didn't see Fire type, so we know he's not playing rare candy, which is a good thing. And he's just going to end us to start things off. I'm okay with that. Our hand was pretty awkward. We were going to have to discard some energies, I think, with that Ultra Ball there. We do get an Oddish, at least, and an N, and a Trainer's Mail, so we've got some stuff to work with. Choice Band going to come down onto the active, and a pass onto our turn. Alright, we get an Ultra Ball on the top deck. So let's go ahead, and I think with Ultra Ball, we'll just go grab... we'll get rid of Grass Energy and Forest, I think. Maybe should have played Trainer's Mail first, but with this I think we're just going to grab the Rowlet. We did press 2 Dartrix, which is a little awkward. Drampa can be good in this matchup, for sure. But Decidueye is really going to be the main thing we're just going to be attacking with more often than not. Trainer's Mail, see what he finds us. We do get a Level Ball, which is very nice. And I think we're actually going to go grab a Dartrix with this. We do only have 2 in the deck, so finding them could be a little awkward. So we're going to go grab it. We get Forest, and then I was like, why can't I play it? I hadn't put the Forest in play yet. So we'll grab Forest, go ahead and evolve that, and then we will play N. We could potentially knock this Froakie out if we found a Float Stone DCE and a way to make a Decidueye. Unfortunately, we did not find those pieces. Go ahead and attach here. Ultra Ball, we'll get rid of Oddish and Sycamore. I think we're just going to go grab a Shaymin with this. Yeah. Go ahead and put down Rowlet, and Shaymin set up for 5. Okay, so if we find... I think we've played, yeah, 1 of our Level Balls, so if we find the other one, we could get Plume, which doesn't seem bad. We don't find it, but we do find Float Stone, which is nice to get on the Lele to retreat it, potentially. And And I think we'll just hold that. We'll hold the Field Blower and Float Stone as well because we want to potentially get rid of this Choice Band if we can. And if he puts like another Choice Band on this Froakie, that would be nice as well. And I think we will just click... we could retreat and then like Sharp Blade Quill. I don't think that does much for us though. So I think I just want to pass. So if he doesn't in us, our hand is pretty solid looking. If he does, we'll just go from there. So he's going to go grab Ultra Ball here. Let's see what he finds with this. Maybe just going for the turn 2 water duplicates. Which would definitely make sense. Yeah, he's going to go grab Frogadier. Let's see if he does retreat into it and go for water duplicates. Saving the Talonflame for later, of course. See, does he get the water energy via Seeker? I'm going to find him in N, it looks like. Yep. So maybe should have played the Float Stone looking back on it. Yeah. A little unfortunate. Now we have to find a way to retreat Lele. I didn't want to have it get Field Blowered away, though. And I didn't really want to just let Dartrix get hit for 40 for no reason. So I don't think I necessarily made the wrong decision. It's just, I don't know. It is what it is. Field Blower here. So he did find a Field Blower. He'll just get rid of the Force of Giant Plants. He could have gotten rid of his own Choice Band, but that wouldn't make quite so much sense. So let's see here. Our hand is a little awkward. If he does choose to Aero Blitz, though... I'm trying to think. Maybe we can... If we top deck DCE, we could... And find, like, Float Stone with this, we could Lysandre KO his only Frogadier. But, nope, he is just going to get a Froakie in play, so that would prevent that from happening. Let's see if he benches it. And we'll see if he Water Duplicates or Aero Blitzes here. He is just going to Water Duplicates, which I think is the correct play. A little safer of a play. And, yeah, having to deal with Talonflame later on can be tough. And looks like he did either prize a Frogadier or he drew into it. We do find Float Stone, which is not bad. We'll see if we can find a draw supporter of some sorts. We do not. So we'll just go Field Blower. Go ahead and Float Stone. Evolve into Decidueye. Attach a Grass to Rowlet. I'm going to Lysandre the Froakie. We'll retreat. And we're just going to Hollow Hunt here. Of course, not forgetting to Feather Arrow. We'll try to target down... the Frogadier with the Splash on it. See if we can maybe try to set it up so we... I don't... we'd have to like attack with Energy Drive or something to knock it out. Or to set it up to knock it out without letting him get the Splash Energy. It might be best to just target down Talonflame since that can be annoying later on in the game. Talonflame is very, very good against Vileplume for sure. So we'll go ahead and Hollow Hunt GX here. Going to grab a Level Ball. Forest... and a Sycamore, I think. I think those three are okay. This gives us the Vileplume next turn. And we'll see what we can do from there. He's going to go ahead and... He did have the other Froakie in his... Or Frogadier in his hand, excuse me. And he's just going to in us. But that's good to put back the Level Ball. That's going to let us search out either a Rowlet or Dartrix or Gloom. And if we can find a DCE here, which we didn't, that would be definitely really good. He does get into a Greninja in the back. Dive Ball here. Let's see what he goes for. I assume just another Greninja to put on the back. Yep, sure enough. So getting multiple ninjas into play. Definitely scary, but if we can just get a DCE and start taking some knockouts... He could retreat and just go for Shadow Stitching this turn. No, he's actually going to go into Talonflame and Aero Blitz, which I think is a smart play. Definitely a heads-up smart play. So he's going to choose his two cards. Probably, I don't know, probably like Energy Break, something like that. But you get a Shaymin. I think we're going to mail before we Ultra Ball, see what we can find, and find nothing. That's nice. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, Ultra Ball, we'll discard Vileplume. Sycamore. And we could go Lele for N. We could just grab a Dartrix. Or we could grab the Gloom. How many Revitalizers? We got 2, so we're going to have to get Plume back somehow. I think we're just going to grab Dartrix, guys. And we're going to... I'm torn between Shaymin and just Sycamoring here. I think we're just going to Shaymin. Try to get as much as we can going. Do find the forest, so that's something, and but unfortunately I do have to discard Lele and our other Vileplume and a Rowlet as well. We do find a DCE at least, so we can knock the Talonflame out, and we do find the Revitalizer so we can get out the Plume. So go ahead and Revitalizer, get back Plume. Maybe just the other Oddish, so that if he kills the Vileplume, we can set it back up again. I don't know that he's ever going to kill it, though, necessarily. I think we just take the Oddish, in case he does kill it somehow. We won't play the Level Ball, we'll save it. We don't have to, like, Sycamore or anything next turn. Go ahead and Feather Arrow the active, so that we can Razor Leaf and KO it. So good thing we put that 90 or 20 damage from the Feather Arrow onto the Talonflame earlier on in the game. Definitely very good. And we do find a Dartrix there off the prizes. Nice. So with Arrow Blitz, he may have gotten like a Lysandre as well. But we'll see. We'll see what he got. Lysandre on Plume would be a little unfortunate, and just he could start sniping around us. But he'll have limited access to those, you know, six-ish water energies he's probably playing. Giant Water Shuriken, let's see where it goes. Gonna go on to the active, so gonna start chasing that down. And a Sycamore. See if he finds another... He needs 2 water energies. I think he... If he knew he was gonna evolve to Break, he definitely should have promoted this one. So I think that's a mistake on his part. He does have 4 ninjas out there, which is a little scary. Moonlight Slash here is just going to hit us for, 80? We'll say, or probably just 60, actually. Yep, 60. So he has to Moonlight Slash next turn to KO us. We do get another DCE, which is very good. We'll just Lysandre KO this guy. We'll go ahead and Feather Arrow this one. I guess we should have Feather Arrowed that. Maybe we should have actually just put the DC on Lele as well. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think we should have Feather Arrowed, put the DCE on Lele, so we can try to set up a Feather Arrow KO on this so he doesn't get the whole team back. But, we'll see how that goes. He'll have to Moonlight Slash to KO us, so we'll see if he wants to do that or not. And then we can go dig next turn for a, Decidueye. Only 13 cards left in deck. And only 19 from my opponents. Yeah, okay, so I think I messed up there a little bit. I think I should have put the DCE on Lele, and then Feather Arrowed this guy, so that it's got 20 on it. Let's see where this Giant Water Shuriken damage goes. It might go on the active, actually, so that he can Moonlight Slash and keep his energy attached, or just Shadow Stitching KO. He is going to put it on the active, so we'll see if he KOs us with Shadow Stitching or Moonlights. I mean, I assume Shadow Stitching, there's no reason not to. Yeah, definitely no reason not to. And we're going to just have to see if we can find a Decidueye. Shadow Stitching, gonna knock us out. So we bring up Lele, of course. I don't know, maybe it was best to go ahead and just attach to Dartrix, honestly. We get a Revitalizer. Oh, Shadow Stitching means we get to use our items as well. So that actually is super nice for us. Yeah, that's really good. I totally didn't even think of that. Okay, so we're going to go Revitalizer, get Rowlet, and Decidueye. Yeah, that's awesome. We don't even have to Sycamore this turn now. We'll go ahead and I think we'll go ahead and play Level Ball. Do we have 2 Decidueyes in the deck? 2 DCEs and a Grass, 1 Sycamore, 1 N. So we still have an N left, which is good to note. Go ahead and get Gloom, put it in our hand. And I don't think he has any way to kill this turn. And we're not going to Sycamore. No reason to. Gonna hit him for 180. He does get to bring the whole line back. But even if he has 2 breaks, or if he has an additional break, we know he has 1. Additional break plus energy. He needs like 3 energies to hit us for what? 60, 120, 200 max. And then, yeah, but he needs to have 3 energies to do 200 damage max. And not even KOing us. And then we just get to take out another Greninja. So pretty low odds there at that point, especially with 4 waters in the discard already. He's going to just attach to the active. He maybe should start trying to chase Shaymins with Giant Water Shurikens. He might have... I don't know. I wonder if he has access to his Fisherman. Yep, never mind. There it is. So if I'm him, I'm going to start chasing down these Shaymins. Giant Water Shuriken, gonna probably hit it. Nope, he's just gonna go on the active. Okay. Yeah, okay. I also would have attacked with this Greninja as opposed to the break. You want to save your break. So by doing this, you know, now we just KO this, and he doesn't have a break anymore. DCE, we know we have a Grass in the deck. Feather Arrow. No reason to Sycamore. Yeah, now we take his break out of play. He has to have his last break. And then he can... we know he has the energies, but if he has his last break, then he can take a knockout. But if he doesn't, then it's going to be looking pretty hot for us. Sycamore. Going to discard a ton of stuff. All those energies he just brought back to his hand. Yeah, everything goes down. Wow. And he's just going to Moonlight Slash, so that will do it. Greninja there being a, I would say, all-around pretty decent matchup for us. So we'll go ahead and, yeah, just Razor Leaf for the KO, for the game. And that is going to do it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think about the Decidueye Vileplume deck. Once again, can't say it enough, huge congrats to Azul and Brad on their finishes, top 8 and top 16 respectively. Awesome stuff. Loved getting to play this deck. I think it's really solid. If you want to play Decidueye Vileplume right now, guys, I think this is the list that you should be playing. List will be in the description down below, as well as a link to Brad and Azul's Twitter pages, as well as Azul's Twitch stream. Definitely check out all those things, guys. That is going to do it for me. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care.